What happens when America's sweetheart runs into daytime television's brightest star and everything goes terribly wrong? The mood inside Studio 6B was so heavy, it felt like you could slice through it as Sandra Bullock eased herself into the familiar guest seat across from Kelly Clarkson. What should have been an easygoing promotional chat about Sandra's newest project spiraled into one of the most uncomfortable segments daytime viewers had ever witnessed. Before we dive into this explosive moment, make sure you tap that subscribe button and drop a comment on what you think really pushed this interview off the rails. The Kelly Clarkson show had been a smooth ride for years. Kelly's warm charm and genuine curiosity made even the most nervous celebrities open up. Sandra Bullock, beloved for her sharp wit and relaxed personality, looked like the perfect guest for another cheerful chat about her career and personal life. The team behind the cameras had lined up the usual talking points, expecting nothing but another feel-good moment for viewers at home. "Sandra, it's so wonderful having you here," Kelly said, flashing her signature grin that lit up the set. "I have to say, you're glowing. There's something different about you these days, and I think everyone here sees it too." Sandra shifted slightly, her smile still there but a little stiffer. "That's kind of you, Kelly, thank you." "Come on now," Kelly pressed, leaning forward with her trademark enthusiasm. "There's something going on. Is it your new movie? Or maybe a special someone in your life? Our audience is dying to know why Sandra Bullock has this glow." The first ripple of tension appeared. Sandra's jaw tightened just a little. "I'm here to talk about the film, Kelly. It's something I've been working on for 3 years, and I believe people will really connect with its message." Sensing a shot at getting a personal reveal that daytime audiences loved, Kelly didn't drop the thread. "Sandra, you know everyone watching adores you like family. They've cheered for you since Speed, through Miss Congeniality, through your Oscar win. They feel like they know you. And when someone they love seems this happy, they want to celebrate with you." "I understand that," Sandra replied, her voice now carrying a subtle edge, one not everyone in the audience picked up on. "But some things are private." "Kelly, surely you understand that better than most." The line dropped like a tiny bomb in the room. Kelly's bright smile faltered for just a second, and something flickered in her eyes. Something sharp. The jab wasn't lost on anyone who followed celebrity news. Kelly had been open about her own struggles and built much of her brand on honesty and vulnerability. "Of course, I value privacy," Kelly said, her tone still warm but now layered with steel. "But I think there's a difference between protecting privacy and dodging people who've supported you for decades." Sandra arched her eyebrows and leaned back. "Dodging. Kelly, I came here to promote my movie. I didn't realize my personal life was a requirement." "It's not a requirement," Kelly said quickly, though her frustration was starting to show. "But it's what creates genuine connection. It's what makes people care about the art you share." The audience began to pick up the shift, their laughter and chatter dying down. Sandra's publicist, seated just out of camera range, looked like she might faint. "Genuine connection," Sandra repeated, her voice now taking on the dangerous humor people recognized from late-night roasts. "Is that what we call intrusive questioning these days? Because, Kelly, this doesn't feel like connection. It feels like prying." Kelly's face flushed, her carefully trained poise beginning to slip. "Prying? Sandra, I'm having a conversation. The kind of conversation viewers expect when they tune in to see someone they admire. And what if I don't want that conversation?" Sandra shot back, her voice just loud enough to reach the farthest seats. "What if I want to talk about the amazing cast, the director's vision, or the themes we're exploring?" "Then of course we can talk about those things," Kelly said, though her tone made it clear she wasn't ready to let go. "But Sandra, you have to admit you're unusually closed off today. Our producers spoke to your team and they told us you'd be open about your happiness." Sandra's eyes narrowed. For a brief second, her Hollywood mask cracked. "My team told you what?" "I can promise you nobody on my team offered my private life as part of the deal." Silence. Complete silence. Even the camera operators hesitated, knowing they were filming something rare. Kelly, realizing she'd gone too far, tried to soften it. I didn't mean to suggest, just with your recent appearances, the way you've been, glowing. There's that word again, Sandra cut in sharply, slicing through Kelly's hesitation. Glowing. What exactly are you trying to get me to say? If you have a question, Kelly, just ask it. Stop dancing around like this is some tabloid interview. Kelly paled, her eyes darting to her producers for backup. No one met her gaze. Everyone knew they were off the rails now. I'm not trying to trick you, Kelly said, her voice softer but with that stubborn streak. I just don't understand why you're being defensive when this could be a celebration. Sandra leaned in, her stare icy. Defensive? Let me ask you something, Kelly. How would you feel if someone kept pressuring you to reveal something you weren't ready to? How would you feel if they insisted you owed the world private details? The words landed like a challenge. Kelly opened and closed her mouth several times, struggling. When she finally spoke, her voice carried a hardness her fans had never heard. You know what, Sandra? I'd handle it with more grace than this. I'd remember that the people asking are the same ones who built my career. The blow was visible. Sandra's face shifted instantly, her head tilting in disbelief. Grace, she whispered, the kind of whisper that signals danger. Kelly, are you really telling me I owe you personal information because you host a talk show? Kelly, cornered, doubled down. I'm saying there's a line between privacy and being rude to people trying to celebrate you. Sandra gave a sharp laugh, completely humorless. Celebrate? This feels like an interrogation, like you've already decided the story you want to tell about me and you're upset I won't play along. By now, the audience was stiff with unease. The cameras rolled, unsure whether to cut. Behind them, a frantic producer was signaling for a commercial, but Kelly wasn't looking anywhere except Sandra. My story? Kelly shot back. Sandra, I don't write stories. I have a show where people connect with their fans. That's all. Then why won't you let me discuss my movie? Sandra demanded, her voice booming through the studio mics. Why is every question about my private life? Why treat me like some reality star who signed away her privacy? Kelly leaned forward, her face red now, her tone sharp. Because your personal life is what makes you relatable, Sandra. It's what makes people care about your movies. You can't just show up, plug your project, and leave without giving them something real. Something real? Sandra said, incredulous, sweeping her hand at the set. Kelly, this isn't real. These lights, these cameras, even this conversation, it's all staged for entertainment. Don't lecture me about real when everything here is curated. The jab about scripts stung Kelly deeply. Her face cracked, revealing genuine hurt. I don't use scripts, Sandra. I ask questions because I'm truly curious about the people who sit there. I'm sorry if it feels invasive, but it's not fake. Sandra studied her closely, almost seeing Kelly for the first time. But instead of softening, it hardened her. Then that's even worse, she said, voice calm but cutting. Because if you're really curious, you should also respect boundaries. You should care about what I want to share, not what you're determined to drag out. Kelly's knuckles were white on her chair arms. Boundaries? Sandra, you agreed to come here. What did you think an interview meant? I thought it meant a friendly chat about my work, Sandra snapped. Not an ambush by someone who thinks they're entitled to my personal life. Kelly actually flinched at the word. Ambush? Sandra, I would never ambush anyone. That's not who I am. Sandra's tone softened briefly, but then she pushed harder. Then what is this, Kelly? What do you call pushing again and again after I've said no? Kelly's eyes darted around, desperate. When she looked back, her eyes glistened with tears. I call it doing my job. I call it giving my audience the moments they tune in for. I call it caring enough to want to know who sits in front of me. Sandra shook her head. No, Kelly, you call it that because it makes you feel justified. But what you're actually doing is weaponizing the audience's love for me against my privacy. Kelly's face shifted. Hurt, anger, confusion, then cold resolve. Fine, she said evenly. Let's talk about your film. What's it about? Sandra's face hardened with disgust. You have no right to psychoanalyze me on air. None. You don't get to frame my boundaries as flaws. Kelly wiped her tears, smearing mascara, but pushed on. I'm not psychoanalyzing. I'm saying maybe you're so afraid of being vulnerable, you've forgotten how to be real. Sandra stepped back, as if struck. How dare you? How dare you question my authenticity because I refuse to perform my pain? How dare you? Kelly stepped forward, heat radiating. I'm not asking for a performance. I'm asking for honesty, for trust. Just 5 minutes? Sandra laughed, bitter disbelief in her voice. Trust you? You've spent this whole interview pushing, shaming, and twisting my words to get a moment. You've